May 1908. A plume of black smoke snakes into the sky over LaPorte, Indiana. The Gunness farmhouse is ablaze, flames licking the wooden frame like some wrathful judgment. The neighbors gather helplessly as the structure collapses into itself. When the smoldering wreckage cools, authorities search the ruins. They find 4 bodies, 3 children and a woman, headless. The sheriff stands over the corpse and asks the question that still haunts history. Was this the infamous Belle Gunness? Or had she vanished just like the dozens of men who stepped into her farm and were never seen again? Belle Gunness entered this world as, bear with me here, she's Norwegian and it's going to be hell for me to even pronounce her name. Brynhild Paulstader Storseth. Born on November 11th, 1859 in Selbu, a cold mountainous village in central Norway. She was the youngest of 8 children in a family crippled by poverty. Her father worked as a stonemason. Her mother stayed home to care for the brood. And Belle, stronger than most boys her age, learned early that survival meant toughness, silence, and grit. Folklore would later color her early years with dark shades. A popular rumor said she was beaten by a wealthy man while pregnant in her teens, and that the child died shortly after. But no record confirms this. What is true is that Belle bore hardship with a stony resolve that bordered on apathy. That hardened her, perhaps even cracked something deep inside. At 21, Brynhild, thanks for bearing with me, boarded a ship to America. She stepped off at Castle Garden in New York and began to shape a new identity. Her name was angelicized. She became Belle, and her story in blood began. Belle settled in Chicago and married Mads Ditlev Anton Sorensen. Surprised I even went that well with that. In 1884. Together, they opened a modest candy shop on Grand Avenue, but success eluded them. Their store caught fire under suspicious circumstances and burned to the ground. Strangely, they'd just insured the property. It was Belle's first confirmed brush with fire, and with insurance money. The couple had several children. Most sources say 4, but the exact number is debated. 2 died young under mysterious circumstances, allegedly from acute colitis, a diagnosis that, at the time, could easily have masked poisoning. Both children were insured. On July 30th, 1900, Mads Sorensen died. Belle claimed it was from a heart attack, doctors agreed, until it came out that 2 life insurance policies had overlapped for exactly 1 day. That same day, Belle cashes out both, totaling nearly $5,000, a small fortune in 1900. $5,000 in 1900 would be $190,356.55 in the year of 2025 as of this recording. Sorensen's relatives raised suspicions, but no autopsy was performed, no charges were filed, and Belle bought a farm in LaPorte, Indiana, and left the ashes of Chicago behind. She was just getting started. The farm in LaPorte was isolated, overgrown, and perfect. Belle moved in with her surviving children, and within months she had a new husband, Peter Gunness, a Norwegian butcher. Just 1 week after the wedding, Peter's infant daughter from a previous marriage died while alone in Belle's care. Then only 8 months later, Peter himself died in a freak accident. Belle said he'd been in the pantry when a sausage grinder fell from a high shelf and crushed his skull. Okay. Likely. How high was the shelf, Belle? 4 stories? Come on now. I'm seeing through this right now. I ain't even there. Locals were suspicious. Rightfully so. Peter had been an experienced butcher. How does a man like that get taken out by a sausage grinder? Belle cried at the funeral. She wore black. She mourned publicly. And then she collected another life insurance payout. After Peter's death, Belle's neighbors started whispering. They noticed strange things. She bought huge quantities of lye, used for cleaning, but also for dissolving flesh. Visitors would arrive and vanish. And she started fencing off parts of her property and refused to let anyone near the hog pens. Her surviving daughter, Jenny, once confided in a friend, quote, "My mother killed my father. She hit him with a cleaver." Okay. Interesting. Jenny disappeared not long after. Belle told everyone she had sent Jenny to a boarding school in California, but no such school ever received her. The girl was never seen alive again. By 1905, Belle was placing Lonely Hearts ads in Norwegian language newspapers. Her pitch was always the same. Quote, "Personal, comely widow who owns a large farm in one of the finest districts in LaPorte County, Indiana, desires to make the acquaintance of a gentleman equally well provided, with view of joining fortunes. No replies by letter considered unless sender is willing to follow answer with personal visit." End quote. Men answered. They came from Wisconsin, Minnesota, South Dakota, and farther. Each brought their savings, ranging from a few hundred to a few $1,000s. Belle would meet them at the train station. They'd ride together back to the farm. Then nothing. Their families never heard from them again. Dang, Belle. 1905. Old school Tinder account. Just offing dudes when they show up. In 1907, Belle hired a drifter named Ray Lampier as a farmhand. Ray was a rough, unremarkable man with a weakness for strong women and stronger drink. Belle took him into her bed, but not her heart. He became obsessed. He grew jealous of the parade of suitors, and Belle used that jealousy as leverage. She'd fire him, rehire him, threaten him, flirt with other men just to provoke him, and it worked until it didn't. After one particularly volatile argument, Belle went to LaPorte Sheriff and reported that Ray was threatening her and her children. She feared for her life, she said. But privately, she was preparing for something else. She told her lawyer she wanted to draft a new will, leaving everything to her children, just in case something happened to her. Then, on April 27th, 1908, the Gunness farmhouse caught fire. The fire killed 4 people, 3 children and 1 woman. The adult corpse was headless. Belle's dentist claimed he could identify her by the dental bridgework in the skull. But there was no skull. And the body didn't match Belle's known physique. She was over 5'8" and heavyset. The corpse was shorter and slimmer. But if it was burned, whatever. I'm not going to get into it. The neighbors were skeptical. Ray Lampier was arrested and charged with arson. He denied everything, naturally, right? Then a man arrived from South Dakota, Azel Helgelien. Helgelien? One of those. He was looking for his brother, Andrew, one of Belle's suitors, who had vanished months earlier. He told the sheriff about Andrew's letters, about the money he brought, and about how it all led to Belle Gunness's farm. The sheriff ordered a search of the grounds. What they found was worse than anyone imagined. Sheriff Smutzer. What are these names, man? Holy crap. Okay. Sheriff Smutzer and his men started by digging near the hog pen. I mean, natural. That's smart. That's where most people would drop a body, right? Almost immediately, they unearthed a burlap sack. Inside, a hacked-apart torso, arms, and legs. Nearby, they found a skull, crushed, with a single gaping hole. Gaping, huh? Then they found another, and another, and another. Over the next few days, the ground gave up at least 11 separate bodies, including Andrew Helgelien, positively ID'd by his brother, O.B. Budsberg, a farmer from Wisconsin, 2 unnamed children, multiple male torsos, all dismembered and buried in quicklime, a woman believed to be Belle's foster daughter, Jenny. Each victim had been killed, dismembered, and buried. Some burned, some dissolved in lye. The total body count could have been over 40. Belle turned her farm into a slaughterhouse, and she'd been feeding some of them to the hogs. Like, I mean, dude, bro has a problem. Ray Lampier maintained his innocence. He said he didn't set the fire, he didn't kill anyone, but while awaiting trial, he gave a confession to Reverend Edwin Schell, a full, horrifying account of Belle's crimes. According to Ray, Belle had poisoned the woman whose body was found in the fire. She had decapitated her, planted her in the bedroom, and set the fire herself. Then she vanished into the night, disguised with a satchel of money. Ray claimed he'd helped her dispose of bodies in the past. He admitted to digging graves and dumping corpses in the pig pen. The Reverend believed him. So did the sheriff. But the courts still convicted Ray of arson. He died in prison of tuberculosis in 1909. And Belle never seen again. Dang, the TB. Dude went out like Arthur Morgan. As the media swarmed LaPorte, more families came forward. They recognized the names from Belle's ads. They had letters from sons and brothers, men who were never heard from again. Many followed the same arc. The man would respond to Belle's ad. They'd receive a warm, handwritten reply, often flirty, sometimes seductive. She'd encourage them to bring their savings and trust in fate. And once they arrived, the letters stopped. Belle used romance as bait. Her pen was a lure, and the farm her killing ground. One letter read, quote, "Come prepared to stay forever. I have a surprise for you." And it wasn't love. This creepy bitch. Okay. dang, there's something really... So who hurt you, Belle? Who hurt you? As the bodies piled up and the newspapers ran wild with headlines like Laporte Horror and Female Bluebeard, Belle Gunness became a national sensation. Reporters dubbed her the Butcher of Laporte, Hell's Belle, the Black Widow of the Midwest, and of course, the Norwegian Black Widow. Which honestly, if you ask me, I mean, like, that's the best one. I mean, come on. She was unlike any killer America had seen. A woman who preyed not only on men, but on love itself. The Chicago Tribune ran lewd descriptions of her crimes, while newspapers in New York and San Francisco theorized she was part of a larger criminal network, an earlier version of a serial killer ring. But no one had seen her. No one could prove she was dead. Let's rewind to the headless corpse. At first, authorities accepted it was Belle. A dentist claimed the dental bridge found in the ashes matched her records. But here's the problem. There was no skull. So what bridge was matching? The body was significantly smaller than Belle's known size, and no neighbors believed it was her. I mean, I don't even believe it was her. Then I'd ask the same question. How you got a dental bridge with no skull, my boy? Come on, my boy. She paid him off. She had to have paid him off. Just like, look, I'm going to do this. Here's a bunch of money, so shut up. Some believe Belle lured a look-alike to the farm, murdered her, and staged the fire. Others thought Ray killed Belle himself, but Ray denied that until his death. Then, in 1931, a woman named Esther Carlson was arrested in Los Angeles for poisoning a man for his money. She died before trial, but the press published her photo. Several people said, "That's Belle Gunness," but no fingerprints, DNA, or forensics could confirm it. And by then, the trial had long gone cold. I still think she paid the dentist off. That's my theory. She paid that dentist money to say it was her. What made Belle different wasn't just that she killed. It was how calculated it all was. She wasn't impulsive. She was strategic. She used social isolation, financial control, and trust as weapons. She didn't kill for passion. She killed for profit. And when necessary, survival. Experts now believe Belle was a high-functioning sociopath. You think? Should have been step number one when you dig up like almost 40 bodies off her property, but you know, that's just me. Oh. Maybe even a rare case of a female serial killer with psychopathic traits. No. Nah, dude, really? The compartmentalized emotion. She justified actions. She turned murder into a system. She wasn't out of control. She was running a business in blood. After the fire, after the trials, after the bodies, Laporte changed. For a while, the town didn't even want to talk about it. But as decades passed, the story turned into folklore. Kids dared each other to sneak onto the old Gunness property. The original house was gone, but the earth still remembered. People claimed to hear screams from the pig pens. Some said they saw a tall woman in black walking the edge of the woods. Visitors reported cold spots, feeling of dread, and the sound of children crying near the foundation. Even the hogs on nearby farms were said to act strangely, squealing and thrashing whenever they were led toward the old property line. Belle Gunness may have disappeared, but her shadow stayed behind. Belle Gunness remains one of the most prolific female murderers in American history. Her confirmed kills range from 14 to over 40, but some estimates go higher. What makes her story endure in the mystery? Did she die in the fire? Definitely not. Was Esther Carlson really Belle? Probably. Did she escape, vanish, and live a quiet life on the run? Maybe even with another husband? What? That she probably killed? The one in LA? That one? We may never know. And the uncertainty is part of what keeps her legend alive. Today, true crime historians still debate her timeline, her motives, and her final fate. But one truth rises through the ashes. Belle Gunness weaponized trust, turned love into a trap, and left a trail of bodies across the Midwest. This wasn't just a case of murder. This was a calculated business of death. Belle Gunness didn't act in rage. She planned, prepped, and profited. She used letters like lures. She used the myth of family and farm life to bait desperate men. And when it suited her, she used fire to vanish, either into smoke and ash or into the unknown. She was the first woman in American history to be described as a serial killer in national newspapers. And she may have been the first to get away with it. I mean, 40 bodies. Over 40. That's for the episode today. And, I hope you liked it. We'll catch you on the next one. And as always, sources are in the description. Thank you.